This historic courthouse in Chehalis, Washington was established in 1845. Don't know what established means, but it's here and it's partially underground and it's made of stones and bricks with ornately carved reliefs. I'd just like everyone to put themselves here in Chehalis, Washington, a population of less than 3,000 people, and this is the courthouse. This is what you chose to do with your time in 1845, is to make this courthouse, our history books tell us. Very interestingly, I want you guys to pay attention to the text at the top of this courthouse. I'll zoom in a second. Doesn't this seem excessive for a traffic court? But do you see how the U's are V's in court and justice and county? Do you see all that? It's very interesting because the letter U wasn't invented until the 1500s. So I'm wondering if these buildings are older than the 1500s. I know that sounds insane, but founders, not builders. This is what a modern building looks like. It's trying to look like the courthouse over there, and it's shit. It's stucco and cement and paint. This was built recently. It was built to camouflage itself with this one. Do you see how similar they kind of look? The same kind of reliefs. But the old one is the one that's over 100 years old is so much better than the new one. How does that make any sense? How does an old building look better than a new building when the new building has every advantage going for it? Infinitely more infrastructure, time, money, material, and yet the old is so much more magnificent. Case in point, here's a post office. Look, it's written with wood right there. Can't at least carve that out of stone? You carved United States Post Office out of stone. And again, this stone goes underground mysteriously. Way under there, they just have mail. And here's the founders and the architect in 1935. Okay. Again, I think the stonemasons, the Freemasons, they were just good at carving their initials on things. Founders Keepers Law. It's actually an old Roman law that said if there was an abandoned building and you found it, you could keep it. Look at the swastika. Swastikas everywhere. Swastikas and grapevines and old flowers, and these symbols are all over the world. And we have psyops upon psyops telling us what they mean. But I think, again, these giant founded buildings speak for themselves. They're telling a history that is completely different than what our fake history books tell. It makes zero sense that frontiersmen went all out on stone buildings at the turn of the century, and that these buildings are largely in disrepair now, that they have been graffitied on and repurposed a bajillion times. And you can put up all the little plaques telling us what these are. There's a cover-up. There's old stone and new concrete poured right next to each other, which means somebody knew what they were doing. And I think that the malicious nature of our history cannot be understated. There are people who have been lying to all of us for generations. And these buildings raise a lot more questions than our history books answer. This seems so excessive for pioneersmen who just wanted to hang out. Why do you have old world buildings all over this new world? Got a little slice of downtown New York here in Chehalis, Washington. The Elks Club. What do you know? More swastikas. Looks like the post office Elks Club. You guys just founded all of these buildings and you repurposed them, and it's time for all of us to wake up.